Taylor Swift, the biggest pop star on the planet. But in 2024, she became the face of a different kind of record private jet emissions. The internet exploded. Climate activists protested. Lawsuits were filed. But what are the real numbers behind the controversy? Buckle up, because the truth is more complicated than the headlines. It started with a college student and a bot. In 2022, Jack Sweeney, the same guy who tracked Elon Musk's jet, created an account tracking Taylor's flights. By 2023, the data was everywhere. Reports claimed she was the world's biggest celebrity polluter, with her jets emitting over 8,000 tons of CO2 in a single year. The backlash was immediate. #Taylor Swift is over party trended. Climate activists called her out. But then Taylor's team fired back with legal threats, and suddenly we had a full-blown controversy. So let's cut through the noise and look at the actual numbers, the context everyone ignored, and what this controversy reveals about celebrity carbon footprints. First, the raw data. According to flight tracking data from 2022 to 2023, 2022 numbers, Taylor's jets took approximately 170 flights. Total of around 22,923 minutes in the air. That's about 382 hours estimated CO2 emissions. 8,293 tons, that's roughly 1,184 times the average American's annual emissions. To put that in perspective, the average American produces about 7 tons of CO2 per year. Taylor's jets produced enough emissions in 1 year to equal what an average person produces in over 1,000 years. But here's the context everyone missed. Taylor doesn't own just one jet. She owns TWO, a Dassault Falcon 900 and Dassault Falcon 7X. And here's the critical detail her team pointed out. She regularly loans these jets to other people: band members, crew, family, friends, management. The tracking data shows flights, but it doesn't show who's actually on board. Some of those 170 flights, Taylor wasn't even on the plane, but the emissions were still attributed to her because she owns them. 2023 to 2024 Eras Tour numbers. During the Eras Tour, tracking intensified. Reports suggested she took flights between nearly every concert stop. But here's what made this complicated. She was performing 149 shows across 5 continents. The logistics were insane. In February 2024, things escalated. Taylor's lawyers sent a cease and desist letter to Jack Sweeney, threatening legal action for stalking and harassing behavior. They argued the tracking posed safety risks. Sweeney's response? He's using publicly available data from the FAA. Anyone can access this information. He's tracking the plane, not Taylor personally. And he's protected by the First Amendment. The internet split into camps. Team Climate Accountability. She's a billionaire with choices. Take commercial flights. You Zoom. Buy carbon offsets. She's destroying the planet for convenience. Team Context Matters. She's the biggest target in the world. Security is paramount. Every A-list celebrity uses private jets. Why is she being singled out? And they had a point. When researchers looked at other celebrity jets, Travis Scott, 3,033 tons of CO2 2020 to Floyd Mayweather, 4,981 tons Jay-Z, 6,981 tons Taylor Swift, 8,293 tons. Taylor topped the list, but barely. And unlike the others, her team actually responded and provided context about loaning the jets. In March 2024, Taylor's representative made a statement. Taylor has purchased more than double the carbon credits needed to offset all tour travel. So problem solved. Not quite. Let's talk about carbon offsets. When you buy carbon credits, you're essentially paying to fund projects that reduce CO2 elsewhere: planting trees, renewable energy projects, methane capture. The idea is that you're balancing out your emissions. The controversy with offsets. Critics argue carbon offsets are greenwashing. They let rich people keep polluting while claiming to be carbon neutral. Some offset programs are legitimate, others are questionable. And even the best offsets don't remove the carbon that's already in the atmosphere from that flight. Taylor's team didn't specify which offset program they used, how much they spent, whether the offsets were verified by independent auditors. But here's some context. In 2023, high-quality carbon offsets cost around $20 to $50 per ton. If Taylor offset her entire 8,293 tons, that's roughly $165,000 to $414,000 pocket change for a billionaire, but more than most celebrities do. The bigger question, is offsetting enough, or should she just fly less? Then came the Travis Kelce relationship, which threw gasoline on the fire. 2023 to 2024 NFL season, Taylor was spotted at multiple Kansas City Chiefs games during the Eras tour. The internet erupted. She's flying cross-country just to watch football. The tracking data showed flights from tour stops to Kansas City, then back to the next tour city. Rough estimates suggested these relationship-related flights added hundreds of tons of CO2. Critics called it the most expensive carbon footprint in dating history, but defenders pointed out she's allowed to have a relationship. Should she be expected to skip her boyfriend's games because she's famous? Why isn't Travis being criticized for not flying to her shows? The double standard debate intensified. So what are the real numbers? Estimated 2022 emissions, 8,293 tons of CO2 times the average American, 1,180 for apps context, jets loaned to others. Security concerns, global tour logistics response, carbon offsets purchased amount undisclosed ongoing. Still flying private in 2024 to 2025. The truth. Taylor Swift's private jet usage is massive. The emissions are real. But she's also not uniquely terrible among celebrities. She just happened to become the face of the issue because she's the most famous person on Earth right now. The real question isn't just about Taylor. It is about whether we're okay with a system where billionaires can pollute thousands of times more than average people offset or not. What do you think? Should Taylor ground the jets? Or is this blown out of proportion? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into celebrity controversies with actual data, smash that subscribe button. See you in the next one.